Stop looking for happiness in the same place you lost it. The people with the worst past can create the best future. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan, and what they have planned for you is not much. Forgiving people in silence and never speaking to them again is a form of self-care. Don't cling to yesterday. It was beautiful, but it was yesterday. Stop being so available to people who are only there for you when it's convenient for them. There's only one thing more precious: every bit of your life to the fullest. Your compromises and sacrifices will be rewarded. No one ever got tired of loving. They get tired of waiting, hearing lies, assuming, saying sorry, and hurting. Never keep people in your life if they don't love and respect you as much as you do them. The reason you want to be better than someone else is the reason why you aren't. It's not whether or not you get knocked down, it's what you do when you get back up. A man must be big enough to admit his mistakes, smart enough to profit from them, and strong enough to correct them. Be the person you needed when you were younger. Strive to make small changes and learn something new daily, because there are always these experiences you have had to tap into for the future. Someone's opinion of you doesn't have to become your reality. Not everybody who speaks in a pleasant way to you is your friend. People are not good. People are not bad. People are just people. Experience, don't expect. Experience life. Do not carry expectations on how it should be. Wanting something is not enough. You must hunger for it. Your motivation must be absolutely compelling in order to overcome the obstacles that will inevitably come your way. Our lives are defined by opportunities, even the ones we miss. Every person alive hits a crossroads in life, when you have to let go of the past and forge ahead into something new. The only sad thing would be clinging to the past once it's out of reach. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. If you saturate your mind with positive thoughts, it will sustain you in any situation. You don't ever truly know another person unless you can take up residence in their head. You'll never be privy to their true nature. It is not our abilities that show what we truly are. It is our choices. You train people how to treat you unconsciously or not. You are either part of the problem or part of the solution. Never attribute to malice that which can be adequately explained by stupidity. You've got to know when it's time to turn the page. Forgiving doesn't make the person who hurts you feel better. It makes you feel better. If someone is trying to bring you down, it only means you are above them. Socializing is just like any skill. You need to practice before you're good at it. Life is brutal and will break your heart, and you just have to be brave and do the best you can. Never deny yourself an experience just because it's unknown or uncomfortable. It may just be a defining and wonderful part of your life. Never go to the past, not for happiness, not for justification, not for excuses. The world is what it is. You are what you are. Sometimes the right path is not the easiest one. If you only blame your problems on someone else, don't expect your life to get better. Life is an experiment in which you may fail or succeed. Explore, expect least. People don't forget. Nothing gets forgiven. Things are only impossible until they are not. Just because you got away with a bad decision doesn't make it a good decision. It is not the critic who counts. Not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who was actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood. It's not your fault things are the way they are. If you're going to apologize, you don't say "but" after. Either you mean it or you don't. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. There are more things likely to frighten us than to crush us. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured.
Fake love is mighty convincing in a world where real love is mighty rare. If you need music on the beach, you're missing the point. We are our choices. Whoever fights can lose. Whoever doesn't fight has already lost. We live longer when we are too busy living. People who say you can't and you won't are usually the ones scared that you will. Your value is not determined by someone else's inability to see your worth. Today is the oldest you've ever been in your life and the youngest you'll ever be again. Don't set yourself on fire to keep others warm. If you expect the world to be fair with you because you are fair, you're fooling yourself. That's like expecting the lion not to eat you because you didn't eat him. There is a healthy amount of distrust to have in everyone. Nobody's intentions are truly clear, even after being stated. You aren't crazy, you're intelligent. Don't be afraid of a shadow, it just means there's a light nearby. Just because you hate this chapter doesn't mean you'll hate the book. When you try to please everybody, you almost always please nobody. If you wouldn't take advice from them, why would you take criticism? If it can be fixed, why are you complaining? If it can't be fixed, why are you complaining? If you're trying to break a habit, don't say, "This is the last time I'm doing it," to yourself. Instead, say, "This is the first time I'm not doing it." A ship in the harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for. The trouble is, you think you have time. People don't think about you as much as you imagine they do. Dead people receive more flowers than the living ones, because regret is stronger than gratitude. You cannot convince people to love you. No one will ever give you love because you want him or her to give it. Real love moves freely in both directions. Don't waste your time on anything else. Life can only be understood backward, but it must be lived forward. You don't notice your progress in life because you are always raising the bar. Let go or be dragged. You'll ruin your life trying to make everyone happy. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. If you have more than 3 priorities, you have none. Knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is not putting it in a fruit salad. People don't get what they deserve. You aren't always responsible for the first thought you have, but you are responsible for the second one. Never be so kind you forgot to be clever, and never be so clever you forgot to be kind. Your mind gives up a lot faster than your body. A calm sea will not make you a skilled sailor. Just because a thought got your attention doesn't mean it deserves your attention. Waiting for change while not doing anything for it is like waiting for the train at a bus stop. If you find yourself repeatedly questioning whether or not something is right for you, the answer is usually no. At some point, you will realize no one else's say in your life unless you let them. A blind man is a poor guide until it gets dark. When you work for someone else, you have the right only to labor, not to the fruits of your labor. We have 2 lives, and the second begins when we realize we only have one. Children make so much noise you can't think, but when they leave the house forever, the silence is maddening. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. If you look for the light, you will often find it. But if you look for the dark, it is all you will ever see. You might be the sweetest peach on the tree, but some people just don't like peaches. If all our problems were cards and we could lay them out on the table, I bet you'd pick your own backup. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. If the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough. The bee doesn't waste its time trying to convince the fly that honey is better than shah. Nothing in life that is worth having comes easy. Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. It's possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness, that is life. You're going to make a lot of people mad doing what's right for you. You can't cross the ocean until you lose sight of the shore. It's easy to fool someone. It's hard to convince them that they've been fooled. Any thought you have about the future is a delusion. Resentment is like taking poison and waiting for the other person to die. You can either be a negative or positive person in life, but only one will get you somewhere. Before you speak, let your words pass through 3 gates. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Worrying only means you suffer twice. Be afraid, but do it anyway. It takes a long time to realize how truly miserable you are, and even longer to realize it doesn't have to be that way. You will never remember the days and nights you stay home and do nothing. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it is a quiet voice at the end of the day saying, "I will try again tomorrow." That